This one's going. All right, let's get started now. Everyone has in front of you your do first. While I take attendance, please do this. Yes, question? Yeah. Pencils. Who needs pencils? Raise your hand. Okay. Let's do the do first. As soon as you finish your thing, it should only take you like 2 or 3 minutes. I want you to open your laptops and go to your WordScapes. Not WordScapes, Studies. Go to Studies. And you're going to be today at Organizing Informative Writing. Today the objective is for us, yes?
I forgot my computer.
Can you get it? Okay, because you're going to need it. So the objective for today is, remember, what was yesterday's objective?
Thesis.
Thesis statement. Excellent. Today we're going to be talking about how to organize your informational essay. So once you have finished with your do first sheet, you can set it aside and log in to your StudySync to this particular, it's Organizing Informative Writing. It looks like this, there's a globe on it. And once you have gotten that to that place, just kind of give me a thumbs up, okay? How many have finished with your pronoun worksheet? Just raise your hand real quick. Okay, thank you. So start logging in to your StudySync. Just check to make sure they're all logged in here. So I'm going to ask you a favor today. I'm going to ask you if I call on you to answer questions, please try to do it loud enough to where we can pick it up on the cameras, okay? I would appreciate that. Yes, finish. Where's your laptop? Go get it. Okay, let me get you a loaner. When you're at StudySync, just give me kind of a thumbs up. How many are still working on the worksheet? Just raise your hand. Okay. Okay, if you haven't finished the worksheet, it's okay. Just set it aside. Open up your laptop to Word or to StudySync, and we'll get started on this. I'm going to play the video, and while you're logging on, you should be able to watch this. This is basically an overview of what we're going to learn today. We're going to be talking about how to organize your informational essay.
If I want to go to the concert, I have to convince my dad. So, I have decided I'm going to write an essay. An essay for your dad? Yeah. All about her lyrics, how good of a role model she is, how much her music has helped me. That's so weird. It might just work, right? I'm such a genius. So, an essay is just one example of informational writing, which is exactly what it sounds like. Writing that gives you information about real subjects. But every informational text has gotta have an organizing structure, like a pattern or order. Yeah, like the way you organize your closet by color and style. I still can't believe you do that. I'm telling you, it'll change your life. Not gonna happen. Okay, so have you decided which organizing structure you're going to use for your essay? There's so many to choose from. There's cause and effect, chronological order, order of importance. Wait, what about compare and contrast? You know, you could compare her music to the music your dad used to love when he was a kid. That is such a good idea. Yep, that way you can relate to how badly I want to go. See? Now that's called considering your audience. Oh, and don't forget to also think about the context. Like in this case, the fact that the concert is next week. Hello? Urgent? Okay, so if this works, do you want to ride together? Wait, you're already going? Yeah, my dad's a huge fan. He got us both tickets. That's going in my essay for sure. Built-in chaperone? Winning. Yep, how could he say no? But first, let's review.
All right, so when we're writing an informative essay, what is the definition, again, of an informative essay? Some of it's actually right here. Yes? Okay, that's good. So what's important to remember is, how does an informational essay compare to an argumentative essay? What's the difference? Who knows the difference? Laura?
Argumentative has two sides. Informational just has one.
Okay, argumentative has two sides, and you choose a side and you support that position. In an informational essay, you're just giving information about something that is real. Yes?
Argumentative has opinions and facts, while informative only has facts.
Okay, excellent. Argumentative does have opinions. This is traditionally just facts. So this could also be called a research paper, right? Because research means that you go and you find information and then you present it in the form of an essay. So in this structure, here are some of the things you need to think about. Compare and contrast. What is compare and contrast? What does it mean to compare something, contrast something? Nathaniel.
Comparing is when you're taking something or someone and comparing it to yourself or somebody else.
Okay. you're taking one object or one thing and you compare it, or you see how it's the same or how it's different than something else. That's compare and contrast. So cause and effect. What is a cause and effect example? Adrian.
A cause and effect?
Mhm.
Oh, when you do something and it affects something else.
Say that one more time. When you do something,
And it affects something else.
it affects something else, right? So let's say, for example, when you light a match and you put it onto a fuse of a firecracker, what's gonna happen? Kaboom, right? So that's the cause and effect. The cause is putting a flame to a fuse is going to have an effect on something. Or like, for example, if somebody sneezes right into your face when they're sick, what is the effect going to be?
You're gonna get sick.
You're gonna get sick. It's not really fun. That's cause and effect. Okay, so a lot of times we're gonna be learning today how to do an outline. And how many of you know what an outline is? Anybody? Okay, we're gonna learn today. And we actually have a worksheet that's going to help you outline information that comes in a paragraph. So at some point, we're gonna begin that. So each one of the headings in an outline gives another idea. So let's say the overarching idea would be dogs. You're gonna be having a new dog, right, coming up. Okay, what are things about dogs that could be headings or bullets underneath dogs as a category? Yes, what they eat, okay. How about some characteristics of dogs? What are some really good things about dogs?
That they protect your house.
They protect. Okay, that could be definitely one category under dogs. What else are dogs good for? Yes. Wait, speak up just a little louder.
Being social with kids and family.
Okay, you can play with them. They're like a companion. They're social with you. How many of you have dogs? When you go home, what does your dog do generally? Are they happy? Yeah, they're really happy to see you. They come up, they give you a kiss, all those things. Okay, so that is in the category. Dogs are friendly, they're companions. What's something else that dogs can do? They can run fast. Yes, they can run fast. But let's think about other kind of categories of dogs. So we have their companions, their protectors. What's one other thing that it could be? Yes. Emotional support. That's excellent. Or they could be support for all kinds of reasons. So how many of you have seen a blind person with a seeing eye dog? Yeah, they actually help the person to become independent because they help them walk around. They keep them from going into holes. They keep them from walking into a busy street. All those kinds of things. Okay, so there's other things you can have in an outline, and that is a graphic that kind of helps you understand how things relate to each other. There's also opportunities for multimedia, like video or sound, things like that you can also look into. So what I want you to do now is I want you to go to your vocabulary tab, and I want you to take a few minutes to match these terms with these terms below. And I will be passing out some of these tickets for those of you who are working hard. And we'll be having our drawing at the end of the day. many of you still need some time? Raise your hand. Almost there? Okay, take a few more minutes. Okay. Finished? Anybody still working? Okay, you can use the restroom. Finished? So, let's talk about graphics. Which one goes into the graphics? Look here. Which one is a graphic? Yes.
Charts or tables that can make complex information easy to understand.
Ooh. Okay, good. What about heading? Yes. Or heading.
The title given to a particular section of the text.
Okay, excellent. Informative writing. Bring it.
The order or pattern that a writer uses to organize information such as cause and effect or compare and contrast.
That's not exactly correct. Close. Yes.
Non-fiction writing that presents information about real people, places, things, and events.
Yes. Excellent. So, what is the multimedia?
Concept that combines.
Jezebel. Okay, excellent. And then finally, this one is the order of pattern. This goes down to the structure. Remember we talked about the structure. This is what we're going to be talking mostly about today. Learning how to take information and putting it into different points that will help you to write your essay. Excellent. All right. All right, now let's do model. All right. So we have a checklist. What is the best way for us to break down information about the title or the subject that you want to put into your essay? And that's what this is going to describe. So here's a checklist for organizing your writing. Now, this is an important thing for us to go through today, because as we go through this, you're going to need to use this in the second half of our class today. So, as you consider how to organize your writing for an informative essay, use the following questions as a guide. So, what's my topic? How can I summarize the main idea? Who wants to tell me about why do we have to have a topic? Why is a topic important? Yeah. Yeah, you're informing the reader of what you're going to read. If you don't have a topic or a thesis statement, we talked about thesis statements yesterday. How do you know what you're supposed to be writing and what you're supposed to be writing about? You don't. You just would be writing willy-nilly about anything. So then once you have the topic and you understand what it is, remember 2 days ago we talked about trees, right? So what is the logical order of the ideas, concepts, and information? What is the best way to organize this information? So we talked about the different kinds of organization, compare and contrast, right? Cause and effect, order of importance, and things like that. That's what we have to determine before you write your essay. So if we were doing an essay on trees, which we talked about on Monday, what would be the best way to write about trees in an informational essay? Compare and contrast, logical order, cause and effect. What do you think? And why? Here, let's use our dojo. We'll choose from the randomizer. So this is 6C. Jermaine, if we had the topic of trees, what would be the best way to organize that? Using one of those compare, contrast, cause and effect, order of importance, or the order of things that happen in sequence. What would you think the best way to write about? Cause and effect. Okay, explain how that would be for trees.
Like, the causes that we do, and like that happen.
Okay, that's one way. Let's see, let's have another person. And, Jezebel. Which is the best one to choose for trees? Which organizational structure? Compare and contrast, cause and effect, order of importance, chronological order. Which one do you think? If we have three different kinds of trees, pine trees, palm trees, and fruit trees that we talked about, what's the best way to organize that essay? Compare and contrast. Excellent. And here's why. When we have compare and contrast, here's what that means. Don't worry about it. You're going to compare a pine tree to a palm tree. What are the differences? Obviously, palm trees have long fronds. Sometimes they have fruit like dates and coconut. But oftentimes they're in tropical settings, right?
Coconut.
Yeah, there's coconut palm trees. Did you know that? That's where coconuts grow from. They grow from palm trees. You learn something every day. Go ahead. So the compare and contrast would be an excellent way to describe the differences in those three kinds of trees. Now, some things might be better in chronological order. For example, if you were to watch one of my videos on how to make soup or how to make some kind of food item, that would be very important to do it in chronological order, right? Because you don't want to bake something if you haven't mixed it together yet, right? So in that instance, having something that is in order makes more sense. Okay. So here's some strategies to help you organize your ideas. Definition is useful. What is a definition?
Definition.
Here, I'll call in somebody here. Jesus, what is a definition?
When you describe something.
When you describe something. So give me a definition of a pine tree.
The definition of a pine tree.
Definition of a pine tree. What does a pine tree look like? What does it smell like? Okay, what does it smell like? It smells like, you know when you have a Christmas tree in your house?
Oh, yeah.
What does that smell like? It smells like pine, right?
It smells like pine salt.
Smells like pine salt. Kind of. Well, that's why it's called pine salt, because it has that smell in it, right? Okay. So you're defining the essential qualities of the subject. So If you're talking about a palm trees usually have a very skinny trunk and they go up to this big frond area. Teaching readers about a topic or how to do something. That's another thing that's important, is to explain the sequence or steps in how to do something. Providing examples, restating a definition in a different way. Those are all important things. Where you go, then you can move. So, compare and contrast is useful for what? So we're talking about pine trees, palm trees, fruit trees. That's one of the things that can be compared and contrasted with. Cause and effect is useful for what? Hold on, I'm gonna pick somebody. Mary, cause and effect. What's it useful for? So first of all, what is cause and effect? Okay, you do something and it causes something to do something. Right. So give me an example of cause and effect. I gave you one about the match on the firework. What's another example of cause and effect? And you what? You run in the hallway and what happens? You get in trouble. That's definitely cause and effect. Excellent. Another one is, how many of you have ever made bread? Or seen somebody make bread, right? When you put yeast in with the flour and water, what happens? It gets bigger, right? That's cause and effect. Excellent. Okay. Then there are visual elements. What is a visual element? We talked about one of them already. In the definitions, when you matched them up, what are some of the visual elements that could be used in your essay? Aiden. Photos, charts, graphs. One of them that we're going to show a little bit later is a Venn diagram. Okay. So now let's look at the stories that we've been reading this week. Remember, we have a story of 3 different people, and the Colin, who's writing this essay, is writing, and his theme is this one over here. What motivates us to conquer feelings of uncertainty? That's what Colin, who's writing this essay. No, just sit down. Okay. Colin is writing an essay, and he's evaluating the different types of information. Aiden? Don't do that.
My name's not Aiden.
I'm sorry. Don't do that. Okay? So, each of these people or characters has a different motivation. So, the lady who is the scientist, what is her motivation? What is she studying? Do you remember? Volcanoes. What is her motivation?
Is that how people are?
What? You. Yeah, you. What's her motivation? Why does she want to study volcanoes? Do you remember? No? Okay, I'll choose somebody from the randomized list. Nathaniel, why does she want to study volcanoes? Remember, she and her partner. Speak up a little louder, I can hear you. No, you said it right, just speak it louder. That's part of it, but what they want to do, they're scientists, and they are studying volcano activity, so that people, if they get close, they know that it's dangerous, and they understand what happens when the volcano starts to erupt. in that story, remember she got too close and she burned her shoes one time, her shoes melted. Another time, they were standing really close to a cliff and it was hot from the volcano, yet it was freezing from the outside temperature. So there's a lot of different kinds of things that you can learn about her motivation. So then the other person who was the mathematician that was trying to use math to figure out a problem. What was his motivation? Brisa.
Seriously.
Brisa. What was the mathematician's motivation? Remember, he was trying to figure out what would it be like if everybody stood in line and jumped up at the same time, what would happen? And he tried to use math. Why do you think he was trying to use math to figure out that problem?
Is it crazy?
You don't know? Okay. We'll go to the next person. Jesus! Yay! Go ahead. Why do you think the mathematician was interested in figuring out that problem? What was his motivation?
To get the answer.
To find the answer. It's simple as that. He had this thought. What would happen if all the people in the world got together and jumped up and down all at one time in one place? What would happen? He came up with an answer. And then the last person. Do you remember about the book?
What book?
Okay. Let's look right here. Okay, so we first of all have the scientist, we have the mathematician, and then we have the school kid who is trying to learn about what? Remember? Bullies. Excellent. Yes, he was trying to learn about bullies. He's trying to find out what the motivation was for a bully to pick on someone. So now, this essay is going to be about what? What is the thesis?
Bullying.
What?
Bullying.
Bullying? Okay, but remember, he's comparing
Trying
and
to learn about
contrasting three different people.
He's trying to learn about the
Okay, what is he trying to learn about them? There's a clue over there.
why they're bullying people.
Yes.
Motivation to make them do that.
What's the motivation for making them do what they do? That's what his essay is all about. So, Colin uses, there's different ways. He decides to use compare and contrast in his essay. So, here's how this is one of those diagrams. This is one of those things that you can use in your essay. Now, here's Donna O'Meara. She's the volcano expert. Here's Randall Monroe. He's the mathematician. And here's Roy from the book Hoot, who is the school kid. What do they all have in common? They are curious. The volcano expert and the physicist, the mathematician, they are both scientists.
Sorry about that. Can I borrow your tape again, please?
The what?
Take dispenser. I can grab that.
I'm filming right now for my. It's okay. It's okay.
You hate children.
Yeah, they hate children.
All right. So this is one way that you can design a graphic. This is a Venn diagram. How many of you have seen Venn diagrams? You have them in math, right? So what does the volcano expert and the physicist have in common? Yes?
They're both scientists.
They're both scientists. What else? There's one other thing. They're both curious. So what does the elementary school kid have in common with the volcano expert?
Curious.
They're curious, but is there anything in this section right here?
No.
Not that we know of, yeah, not that we know of from the stories. Same with the physicists and the elementary school kids. They're all curious. So that's what this particular essay is going to be about. It's going to be about how the motivation, what their curiosity causes them to do these different things. Okay, now, let's have everyone go here to your turn. Let's take a few minutes here and let's do the terms and match the terms with these particular answers above. Good. Get out. When you're finished, give me the thumbs up. Maybe another minute or less. We're going to have a lot to choose from today from our drawing. Anyone still working? Raise your hand. Okay. Go ahead, Bella. All right, so thesis, purpose. What goes with the thesis? What's the best way to describe or to structure? Yes. Problem and solution. Excellent. Okay, although many people prefer cats, some prefer dogs to be their companions. Show the difference. What goes here? Yes. Compare and contrast. Excellent. Okay, bullying is a serious issue. To present a possible solution to the problem, what would you use? Jermaine. Cause and effects. The Hudson River is the longest glacial river in America, and the way it was formed was fascinating. That is the steps in sequential order. That's how it was formed. Okay. When you're finished, you can save and continue that. And now we're going to go to this next section. See how we're going. Okay. So for the next 20 to 30 minutes, I'm going to hand out two pages. The first one is just an example of how best to create an outline. And the second one is a worksheet that has a graphic organizer that's going to help you to begin to write and organize an outline. So actually, Edie, would you pass these out? Actually, Nathaniel, would you pass these out? Yeah, you could.
That was good.
What's what?
Right down.
These are worksheets we're going to work on together. If you go to your writing thing, you can see here that it just is blank. So in order for us to have something a little more structured, I created this graphic organizer for you. But once you have the papers, I want you to look at this one first with me. We're gonna go through this one together. Pick up the single sheet one and look at the front. We're gonna go through this one together. Thank you. Does everybody have one? We're gonna do this single sheet first, not the stapled one. Does everybody have a single sheet and a stapled one? Okay, so let's start by reading how to create an outline. So, an outline helps you organize your ideas before writing a paragraph or essay. Follow these steps. These are the steps. 1, identify the main idea of the paragraph. 2, list key details that support the main idea. 3, arrange the details in order, in logical order. And 4, use bullet points to organize your thoughts carefully. So let's look at the example. The example is the one that I spoke about earlier, which is about dogs, right? Dogs make great pets because they are loyal, friendly, and protective. They enjoy spending time with their owners and can be trained to do many tricks. Can you have a seat, please, Brandon? Dogs also help people feel safe by guarding their homes. Some breeds are especially good at protecting their families. In addition, dogs provide emotional support and companionship. Many people feel happier when they have dogs around. Nathaniel, please say. Okay, number 1, the main idea. Dogs make great pets. So underneath that, these are the supporting details. They are loyal, friendly, and protective. That's number 1. Number 2, they can be trained to do tricks. 3, they guard homes and provide safety. 4, some breeds are especially good protectors. And 5, they offer emotional support and companionship. The conclusion, dogs bring joy to their owners. So now turn over the page and you're going to have an opportunity to outline information in the practice paragraph. So in the practice paragraph, let me read it to you. The sun is important for life on earth. Just let me finish reading. It provides warmth and energy that plants need to grow. Without sunlight, animals and humans would not have enough food to eat. The sun also helps regulate the Earth's climate. In addition, sunlight is a natural source of vitamin D. It's essential for healthy bones. People enjoy spending time in the sun, playing outside, or relaxing at the beach. Because of these reasons, the sun plays a vital role in our lives. Okay, so now you have this little worksheet. I want you to pick the main idea. What is the main idea about this whole paragraph? The sun gives us life. Okay, that can be your main idea. Now I want you to take the next 5 to 7 minutes and fill in this sheet with supporting ideas. Supporting detail 1 through number 5. Yes, we're going to take all of the different elements from this paragraph and you're going to put it in this sheet, just like the front. Use the front as an example that shows you how to do it for dogs. Now in the back, you're going to do it for the sun. Come around and see how you're doing. If you have a question, raise your hand. this paragraph, and read this from this is the main idea. These are the supports. So back here, I'm gonna take this, the sum is important, so I want it to be an idea. Then you're gonna write out the different details and conclusion. Okay? Do that right now. You see what you do? So this is the dog one. Now you're gonna write about the sum. Do the sum right now. And just write down one or two different words for each detail. What do you think?
Oh,
What is
so,
the main idea?
the sun?
Sun. And then what do you think the first detail is?
The sun. About the sun?
Yeah, what does it say in the next sentence?
It provides warmth and energy.
Yeah, that's detail number one. Yeah. Okay, so you've got the first one, that's the second detail. Just keep reading through and just keep adding more and more detail. So if it provides warmth and energy, that's one. What else does it do? Helps make food, right?
Oh, yeah, healthy food.
Alright, so that's number two.
Oh.
Just wait. Finish your thing first. How many are close to being done? Okay. How many need more time? Raise your hand. Okay, everybody close to being finished? Okay, so, Eileen, what is the main idea? What's the whole idea about? What is it about? The sun, yes, that's the main idea. The sun gives light. Okay, number two, who can tell me the first supporting detail? Adriel. Adriel, wake up.
Yo, Adriel, what is
Okay, this is not fun. Santiago, main idea number one, supporting detail number one.
The sun gives plants life and people need plants. or food to live, so if there's no sunlight, there would be no plants.
Okay, the sun helps plants grow. That is a detail. Excellent. Laura, what's another detail? It's a source of vitamin D. Excellent. What's another detail? Eden,
No,
he's in the bathroom. Sorry, Eden. Next, random. Marco, what is another thing that the sun does? What is a detail? It's in the second sentence. Look at your paper. The second sentence.
Hanky just fell
The other
out.
paper.
Mister, this just fell on.
Okay, just set it down, please. What does the sun do? It gives energy. Okay. What's another thing that the sun does? Jason, what does the sun do?
It helps us keep us warm.
It keeps us warm. Excellent. Sebastian, what else does the sun do for us? It grows plants. Yes. What else? Brendan's at the nurse. Julio, what does the sun do for us?
You could, I don't know how to say that one. I don't know, essential for healthy bones.
Yeah, it gives us vitamin D for our bubbles. Excellent. Okay, one more. Cepeda. What's that? It helps, gives us sun. Excellent. Okay, so now you can see how to make an outline. You read the information and you put the important details on a graph or on a sheet of paper, one after the other. That will help you eventually learn how to write the essay from the details. Okay, so now let's go to your second sheet. Second sheet looks like this.
Mister, I can get some.
Just wait, somebody's in the bathroom. All right, so now we're going to take some time to write in the graphic organizer. So I want you to choose a topic of your own. Not the sun, not dogs, not trees. Okay? Pick a topic of your own that has 3 different sections of it. Like, for example, when we had trees, we did pine, palm, and fruit. So I want you to pick something that has 3 different items in it that you're going to write about. Go through the graphic organizer. The graphic organizer is going to help you organize what your essay is going to look like. Okay? This is going to be important because you will use this information on your test coming up Friday. So take the time to figure this out and do it correctly. Okay? So, what is my topic? How can I summarize the main idea? What is it when you summarize the main idea? What is that called? Well, that's at the end, but what is at the very beginning? We talked about it yesterday. Thesis statement. It's the thesis statement. what do I want my readers to learn from the essay? That is also part of your first introductory paragraph. Then you go through steps 2. Determine the logical order and text structure. Okay, so you're going to determine what structure you're going to use. You're going to do compare and contrast. Are you going to do cause and effect? Are you going to do chronological order? Those kinds of things. You're going to determine that. Go ahead. So I want you to go through the graphic organizer. I'll be floating around to kind of help you out if you need help. But the first thing you need to do is to determine what topic you use. You can go after he comes back. Any questions about what to do with your graphic organizer? Questions? Adrian? Okay, get to work, and I'll be floating around, and I will hand out some more tickets for those of you who are working and doing a good job. And then when we get close to being done, you have only about 10 minutes, or a little less than 10 minutes. So just work on this for a good portion of the time, and then what I'm gonna have you do is I'm gonna have you read out to me, like the first part, like what your topic is gonna be. Things like that. Yes, you need a pencil?